H1-B scammers, beware. You thought we were finished exposing your schemes? We're just getting started. Welcome back to Come and Take It. Whew. Wow. Big response to our H1-B expose that we did several weeks ago. Go check it out if you haven't yet. You can find it on the YouTube channel at Sara Gonzales TX. It's different from the one that you're watching right now, so make sure that you go over there and subscribe at Sara Gonzales TX. So just a note to the fraudsters who are watching, because I have it on good authority. We're on several lists. There's like a big group of fraudsters who know to look out for all of my content. Let me be clear to the fraudsters. We aren't done. Keep watching. It may be you we are exposing very shortly. So I'm sure that you guys have heard by now that after my expose, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has frozen H1-B visas for any of the state agencies. Now, I want to be clear with this. Governor Greg Abbott does not have the ability to freeze any H1-B visa holder from coming into the state and working at a private company. This is just for the stuff that I exposed before, like DISD, Dallas Independent School District. Obviously, that is a government agency, a governmental body for, any sort of government agency, statewide agency or local agency who is putting out all of these H1-B job postings and bringing in H1-B jobs. Those jobs are not going to be going to H1-B visa holders, but that's not preventing more H1-B visa holders from coming into the state by way of the federal government accepting their application and them coming into these private jobs. So I just want you to keep that in mind as we go through this episode. Also, Attorney General Ken Paxton, the greatest attorney general in the entire country, is now launching investigations into 3 different employers. I won't say who yet, for misrepresentation of business practices as a result of what we uncovered. But there's another scheme on top of what I have already been explaining to you, on top of the fact that they are bringing people in fraudulently, that they are claiming that all of these people are working, their worksite location on their LCAs are listed for places that they do not actually appear. I don't know where they are. It seems like there's ghost workers. It seems like there's workers that don't exist or workers that are being brought in here and not actually going to the work site that they claim that they're going to be at. There's multiple different levels of fraud happening. And then on top of all of that, there is the scheme with regard to H1-B visas that they're doing in plain sight. And this one is really going to make your blood boil, okay? Because I know that, listen, I've gotten so many tips on our tips email address, which, by the way, you can go to Sara Tips, S-A-R-A Tips, at blazemedia.com and give us any tips if you want to tell us a certain company that we need to be looking more heavily into. But this is just in plain sight, saying the quiet parts out loud, blatant discrimination. There's so many people who have sent me emails, and the emails say the same thing every time. They say, I can't get a job in IT because I worked for this company, but I'm white, or honestly, just an American citizen. Because I have had some other, I'm white or I'm black or whatever the case may be, but I'm an American citizen. And once someone from, say, India, because that is the overwhelming majority of these IT positions, are coming from this one region, or a couple different regions, one of them being Hyderabad, India. And once one person gets into management there, they don't hire another person again who is an American citizen.
Wait, you can do that?
And so I keep seeing this pattern occurring in the tips that I'm getting. And so then you start thinking, like, hold on, that's against the law. Like, we have laws to protect people from discrimination. Equal protection violations in job postings. These companies are literally saying, we are not going to hire United States citizens. Now, I want to thank the ex-user Fragrance22 for the tip that pushed me to start looking further into this, because it was that particular response to me that I went, okay, I'm sure that there's more than meets the eye. I'm sure that there are more occurrences. And boy, let me tell you, I found an avalanche of information, only some of which I'm going to share with you today, but I'm going to encourage you to go out and do your own research. We need 1 million citizen journalists to get this under control. It's a big problem, and it needs to be stopped.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Ramakrishna, a technical recruiter, posts on LinkedIn, "Good day, LinkedIn family. We are looking for Azure cloud engineer with one of our client. Azure cloud engineer, Dallas, Texas, hybrid on-site, H4 EAD only, long-term contract." And then it says, "Please share the resumes if you're interested. Ramkrishna at presentsoftwareinc.com." Now, H4s are dependent visas for spouses and unmarried children who are under 21, but for dependents or spouses of H1-Bs, H2As and H2Bs, H3 as well, I believe, visa holders. So an H1B can come in and they have strict work requirements, but they can come in with the H4. And then the H4 dependents cannot initially work, but they can apply for an EAD, employment authorization document, if the H1B holder has an approved, authorized, they meet the criteria, they can bring in their family. As I was mentioning before, guys, this is the whole scheme. You get in, you get to bring your whole family. You bring your whole family, you bring your children, then your children need to be taught by another H1B. And then that H1B brings their family in, and then they bring their children. I mean, it is just a reoccurring, never-ending cycle. It's part of the scheme. So shockingly, these job postings that I'm about to show you are very blatantly stating they will only accept visa holders. American citizens need not apply. I mean, did you ever think that you would be at a place in America, in the United States of America, where you would see job postings on one of the largest job websites in the entire world, employment websites in the entire world, LinkedIn, where it literally says, "Oh, you're a citizen of this country, you don't need to apply. We don't really care that we're breaking the law. Actually, try us, I guess. Come and get us, I guess." I never thought in a million years they would be doing this out in plain sight. But here it is, Arti Sharma. Title, Java developer. Location, Plano, Texas. Need 10 plus years of experience and H1B visa only. Send me your resume at arti.sharma@compunal.com. So it turns out a bunch of foreigners are using LinkedIn to hire only H1Bs, which I will just remind you guys, I know you know this already, but I will just remind you is so antithetical to the entire point of the H1B visa, because the H1B visa is only supposed to be used if you cannot possibly find American talent to meet your criteria. If you cannot possibly find American talent in this very unique, niche, specialized skill set that only someone else from another country can satisfy. That is what the entire thing is supposed to be for. So the idea that we're just letting these people come into our country or do this from remote work, which I'm about to show you, or do this from another country and advertise for American jobs, but only to an H1B holder, is so incredibly ludicrous. They're not even scared to do it publicly. Well, they're going to be. They're going to be, because we're going to blow this up. All right? Let's name names. Let's name some names. I did my own digging. That was a tip that was given to me. Now I uncovered a few more that I'd like to call out publicly. Sam Mavi from Eros Technologies. He posts urgent hiring for below positions. Gen AI engineer at Richardson, Texas on site. Only H1B candidates. Only H1B candidates. If you're an American citizen, you need not apply. sam.z@arostechnologies.com. By the way, a curious pattern that I'm noticing with most of these websites is when you go to them, you go to arostechnologies.com, you call the phone numbers listed, neither are working numbers. Neither are working numbers, okay? In fact, when you call these numbers that are listed on the website for the United States locations, let's just see what happens.
person you are trying to reach is not available. Goodbye.
Oh. Okay. Geez. I'm sure that's just totally random occurrence and nothing weird is going on here. And by the way, on their website, when you go to the About Us page, it says Eros Technologies, Inc. staffing is basically the recruitment, examination, selection, or placement and utilization of employees to staff government organizations. I have a big problem with the word, what do you mean it's basically? That's not how websites read. Also, you're staffing government organizations? That's a whole other problem. Okay? So this is a reoccurring issue. I'm going to give you some other ones just to prove the point. This is happening on a much larger scale than you think. This was literally one evening of research from me. That's it. Just like surface level, one evening of research from me and uncovering this. And these are the ones that I found. There are so much more that need uncovering. Let's go to Davika R. on LinkedIn. Role, Salesforce developer. Location, Plano, Texas. Experience 13 plus must. Need only H1-B. PP number must. Again, the English is not great. There is room for improvement on the English. You're not getting an A+ for your English, but you only need an H1-B. And you do need your passport number, apparently, according to Davika. Davika.r@srsconsultinginc.com. Okay, wow. This is, again, blatantly illegal, blatant discrimination against American citizens on our own websites for our jobs. Blatant discrimination. By the way, you're going to be shocked to hear when you go to the website, srsconsultinginc.com, it says that they are rapidly expanding their presence in India.
No.
Wow, there it is. Let's move on over to Kirthana. They are hiring a network engineer in Plano, Texas, only H1-B. And then they give you the rate, $58 an hour on the consulting. These are all these consulting sites that they use, guys. Okay, so this is what I'm finding is that they set up this IT consulting firm, and then they want to bring in these H1-Bs for a multitude of reasons. I can't just give you one for each. It's not a one-size-fits-all thing. But a lot of the time, what they're doing is they're skimming off the surface. So they're bringing in the H1-Bs. They're telling these people that they are getting $58 an hour. They will be receiving more than that for this particular job, but they're the ones who control the payment. So they're skimming a little off the top, and then they're giving these H1-B visa holders what's left over. So they are double dipping, essentially. That's one of the schemes of many. But that's part of the reason that you will see all of these IT consulting firms. It's all these IT consulting firms. Okay? And this is a contract-to-contract basis. That's a C2C, contract-to-contract job. So they're like, every time we have a contract, we'll get you in a contract. You'll work for us. We'll put you in a new contract. And then when that contract's over, then we'll put you in a new contract. Like, they are the ones who control where you work. They are the ones who control your rate. But they are the ones who are getting paid and funneling it to you. So you're probably not making, that's part of the gig, you're not going to make exactly how much they're making. They're not passing it all on to you, which again is like fraudulent.
That doesn't make sense.
But these people think they're going to get away with it. They're not going to for much longer because we're on to them and we're not going to allow it anymore. Share resumes to kirthana.v@hyrexa.com. She has another one, AWS data engineer, Amazon Web Services data engineer, which is fascinating to me, guys, because I just did see the headlines that Amazon just laid off like 16,000 employees. And I'm sure a good chunk of them who are in Texas, and that there were rumors that they were moving to an H1-B or like an outsourcing, like situation instead. Well, here's an AWS data engineer, remote. This one's in Atlanta. So the rest of the ones that I'm going to give you, just to show you outside of Texas, is happening everywhere. Everyone needs to be worried about this. Need only H1-B. Only H1-B. By the way, also, if you are a green card holder, if you did immigrate to this country, if you came to this country as a foreign national and you paid your dues and you are now a green card holder, you still need not apply. We don't want you. We want the non-immigrant visas, actually. Like, what a slap in the face. So, you can share your resumes to Kirthana. By the way, Hyrexa.com has numerous locations in India, including Hyderabad, where this happens at unprecedented rates. That region, along with one or two others, all the fraud, most of the fraud is happening from that particular region. And another pattern that you'll notice with these companies is that they rent out this virtual remote co-working space, like the WeWorks. If you guys saw my expose, you saw like this is a common theme of these locations because they can have a physical presence, they can have a mailing address, they can have an address to put on their website, but no one's actually home. No one's actually there. Shockingly, the U.S. location is in Virginia at yet another remote virtual co-working space.
I am shocked right now.
And I am enraged. We are shocked and enraged.
Awesome. Wonderful. Now let's go over to Sravani G, because we're not done exposing these companies. Sravani G is actually located directly in Hyderabad, India, but somehow, curiously, looking to fill American company jobs with H1-B only for the American company Blueverse Systems. Now, before I read you this job posting, I would just like to say on their website, blueversesystems.com, it's curious. Maybe it's just they just oopsies didn't double check their work, but it does in fact say right there on their homepage, we delivers and we believes, among numerous other, I'm sure, silly mistakes. I'm sure it's a very American company. It's just a typo.
I don't believe you.
We are hiring H1-B only with the red alarm emojis on each side of that statement. We are hiring H1-B only. We are looking for experienced local candidates for the following positions. They post Virginia, New Jersey, North Carolina, Texas, among others. Oh, are you American and you expect to get an American job and be put first? No, sorry, not in IT, not in this world.
What are the important things out there in Texas politics and Texas news that matter to you, and what can you do about it? That's what we want to bring you with the Luke Messia Show on a weekly basis for 20 to 30 minutes. That way you can get the information and go do something for the rest of your week. I look forward to coming to you every Wednesday.
Let's go over to Selva Ramesh. We're going to expose as many companies as possible, as many people as possible. I'm giving their email addresses and their websites for a reason. I want them to be scared of this. They are committing a crime. That is illegal. You cannot do that. And they are doing it so far proudly and arrogantly and publicly. And I want it to stop. Selva Ramesh. His location says India, but he recruits for an American company in New Jersey. Isn't that so? I mean, they couldn't find any people in New Jersey to recruit. They had to go all the way over to India to find a recruiter. But you're in luck if you're a Java developer and you're in Plano, Texas, and if you're only an H1-B, you can send your resume to Selva at itbmsinc.com. Now, you guys are going to be shocked to hear when I checked out the website, itbmsinc.com was experiencing technical difficulties. That's so... What? That is so... I would have never guessed. That is such a surprise that would be happening. So these are just a few, okay? It's happening everywhere. Afreen on LinkedIn works for a United States company, allegedly, but the location on the profile is in India. Hiring H1-B only. Golang developer. It's a remote job, by the way. Great. That's awesome. Email afreen@maintech.com. And then the corporate office is in India. And when you try to call the United States location, this is what you hear.
The party you are trying to reach is not available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Straight there. There's no ringing. There's no auto attendant that answers. It's just goes straight to this weird voicemail. It's just time and time and time again. It's actually absurd. It's one of those things that I saw it and now I can't unsee it. And now it's all that I'm looking into. It's like all that I'm spending my time doing and researching because it is so I'm almost black-pilled from it because the fraud has to be so extreme and the illegalities and the scheming and the loopholes and we have to shut it down. We have to shut this down. I'm going to give you one more and then we're going to call it. Now, by call it, I don't mean I'm going to stop, but I think that I will have proved my point. Okay. Ravi Teja. Oh, Logic Planet. Hello, hope you're doing great. Immediate requirement. Only local candidates will be considered. Don't share non-local profiles, please. And we are looking only H1-B and H4 EAD candidates. Again, this is a common thread, and I know I have heard you guys. By the way, please reach me at raviteja.m@logicplanet.com. Also happens to be in Hyderabad, India. This is a common thread. I've heard you guys. I've heard you. I'm looking into it. Almost every email I get says, look into the H4 EAD, because if you think that the H1-B is bad, that's just the tip of the iceberg. H4, even worse, because they're doing, it's a double-pronged thing. They're doing the H1-B, they're bringing in on the H4, and then the H4 is getting authorization to work. And then a lot of times that work that they are doing is completely fraudulent. It's usually like a husband and wife, and the husband comes in on the H1-B, and then the wife comes in on the H4, and then the wife applies for this EAD, and then the wife gets the job under false pretenses, and then the husband is actually doing the work for the wife, or they're actually just outsourcing it entirely and having someone else do it from where they came, which is typically Hyderabad, India. And the fraud goes on and on and on and on.
It never stops.
We have to shut this down. Complete moratorium on all of these visas until we fix the situation. And if that takes us 1,000,000 years, then that's how long it's going to be. Because I got to tell you, I have a hard time believing that we can't find American talent for this. And you know what? It's proving the point that they're not even trying. They're not even trying. You got to question why that is. Because they're abusing the system, guys. And because they're abusing the system, we've got to shut it down. Now, the companies that I've shared with you here, I have some advice for them. My advice would be leave. Leave now and never return. Because this information that I've found has already been screenshotted, it's already been archived, and it's already been shared to the Trump administration Civil Rights Division, as this is a clear-cut violation of our discrimination laws. So you can do this the easy way or you can do this the hard way, but you better get the hell out of my country with your fraud and your schemes and your abuse of our system and your stealing of American jobs. We're not going to stand for it any longer. And I think there are a lot of citizens that are willing to give up some of their time and their energy to do the research to take their country back. And I would welcome you guys to continue to email me, saratips@blazemedia.com. That's SARATIPS@blazemedia.com. We will continue exposing this stuff. I appreciate you guys watching, and make sure that you're subscribed to this playlist, Come and Take It, on Sara Gonzales Unfiltered YouTube. Make sure that you keep tuning in and tell us if you see fraud or suspected fraud. Let us know. But we've got to blow the lid on this, guys. It's enough. Enough is enough. America first. America always. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Come and Take It.